Okay. Can anybody tell me what this is?
Chainsaw.
Wow.
Tree cutter.
Yeah.
Perfect. So can anybody tell me, is this a safe, dangerous?
It's a murder weapon.
Murder weapon?
Texas
Chainsaw
Chainsaw, man.
Yeah.
It is a tool.
Okay.
It's safe if you know how to use it.
So, I know some of you guys are going to be competing at the CDE contest and might be asked how to use this. Does anybody know how to use one?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Perfect. Well, I'm just going to go over real quick how to start up a chainsaw. Pretty basic, just so if you ever have the need to cut something down, you will have the tools to do so. So, quick thing about chainsaws, if you didn't know, 28,000 people in America are injured by chainsaws every year. Yeah. Quick story, my husband has been one of those, 28,000. Really great story. He was cutting trees down with his grandpa, because you know, elderly men should really handle heavy equipment.
Yep.
Dropped the chainsaw. This was an old chainsaw, didn't have any safety features on it. Dropped it from a tree onto my husband, chopped straight down his leg to the bone. You could see, like, you could open his leg up and see his bone. I don't know what bone that is in your leg. You can see it though.
No, femur is the thigh.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, whatever
It's not
bone
helping.
that
Yeah,
shin
so
is, your shin.
you can see the bone. He was out in the middle of Altamont. So closest hospital's like hour away. So gushing blood all the way there, over 100 stitches.
I wouldn't pass out.
Could have been prevented by simple safety. So we're gonna go over safety first. Most important, we all like our legs and limbs and heads, right? Attached to our body. I mean, personally, I do. So, question to you all. If I were to put this chainsaw on right now, what would be wrong with what I'm wearing right now?
It's
That.
Just about everything.
Yeah.
Just about everything? Okay, start naming some stuff off.
Boots. Helmet.
Yeah. Anything else?
Gloves.
I said it was loose.
Okay, what is like maybe one thing I'm doing right?
Nothing.
Your hair's
Levi
tied
jacket.
Hair's tied back, yeah. Oh, I have safety glasses. This is what you would wear.
Not safe.
Brought them to see. They didn't really go with my outfit, so I can put them on. So, some of the features on the saw that are really important. This one, does anybody know what this is? Those that know how to run a chainsaw, that said you know how chainsaws.
Handle.
No, this part right
Oh, that part. Oh, I
I
didn't
just
see
said
it.
the hand protector, right?
here. Thought you guys knew what chainsaws were. No? So this
Hey.
right here,
We seen
if
it
you
from
once you
movies.
start running and say you dropped it, as soon as you hit it, it turns the entire chainsaw off. So that way, like my husband had his grandpa dropped it, would have hit this bar, because when you're holding it, and say it kicks back, that hits that, shuts the whole chainsaw off. So then, drop it, do whatever.
Right, you're on camera.
No chance of getting cut. Important, right? So, one feature there. Hi, I'm Sarah. One safety feature there. Back here is another safety. It's like your trigger safety. So when you start it, this safety right here, you have to have this down to pull the trigger to actually run the chain. So if that's up, you can't pull the trigger. So like, you know, little kids that like to run around, say you have the chainsaw, because every lays a chainsaw running on the ground. A little kid can't come over and pull the trigger and cut themselves. Or if you're like up in a tree, say a branch gets caught right in this area here, branch can't pull this and run the chain and then you get cut either. So another nice little safety feature. And then the most obvious, what is this safety feature? Cover, guard, yeah. So that one's pretty self-explanatory. So now we're just going to go through the steps of just checking the chainsaw before you start it up. First, you are going to check and see if there's gas. Twist that, look in there. There's gas in there, I promise there is. Twist that back on, and then you go up here, check up this. That's a little sticky. Untwist that. That is the bar oil. So if you guys don't know, there's oil that goes right on the chain when it's running, so that way it runs smoothly. Good to know. So you check that before you start running it. And then if you're cold starting, we're gonna get back here. And can anyone see the little trigger here? On-off switch. Not the most easy on-off switch. There's like 4 things there. So the top one, the 0, is off. So it's in off position right now. Then there's the on, or it's an on right now actually. On, so not really safe right now. Then after that is like a semi-choke. So does anybody know what a choke does? Anyone explain with us? Mm-hmm.
That's gasoline.
Yeah, so it cuts off oxygen and adds gas to the engine.
Yeah.
So if you leave the choke on, what can happen? Can flood the engine. Not good. So when you're starting a cold start, you just want to get started off in the choke, cold start it, or fake false start it, to get that gas in there. Then you'll take it off into the semi-choke, or you can put it on just the on, and then start it from there. And then how many people have started up a push lawnmower? Would anybody like to come up here and share how you start a push lawnmower?
Rico, you're strong.
It's a great dance move. Come on. Come on, Rico. Come on. I think you can. Come on. You look like you got some mad dance moves. It'll be on camera for everyone to see. Come on.
Wait, do you really want me to
Right
imagine?
here. Right here. It's
This is the first time you've ever been shy.
I know, right?
I was told that you
You're
were
usually
supposed.
talking
Yeah.
Shut
or
up.
asleep.
Come on. Let's see the dance move.
Okay.
No.
So go like this. Booty out. Oh, no.
How do you start? How do you start a lawnmower?
You push
Do
a
you
red.
not know how to start a lawnmower?
You push a red button, ring, and like a bang, and like a
Yeah, there you almost had it there for a second.
It's weird.
It almost started.
He almost had us. Too embarrassed.
You got like a
I'm
couple
okay.
reds.
It's okay. So to start this, it's the same motion as a lawnmower. You pull this up and rip it. When you start it, there's a bunch of ways you can do it. A lot of people, this thing's heavy for one, but a lot of people will hold it up, push it down, and rip it. Personally, I think it's the safest to put it on the ground. You can put your foot on it, hold it down on the handle, and then rip up, and then it starts. And if you don't have the choke on, the chain's not gonna go pretty easy like that. So, now that you guys are all professionals on chainsaws, do you have any questions? Nothing? Anybody feel confident enough to run a chainsaw? Oh, now you want to do
That's like
something.
real life right there.
So, no questions?
No, you don't need to do it now. We're gonna
No comments? That's it? Okay, so, in total today, what did we all do? What did we go over? In like the short 5 minutes that this was.
Safety.
Safety, sweet.
And how to run.
Yeah, anything else? I think that's pretty much everything.
You learned some dance moves.
Yeah, and dance moves. Nothing's complete without a dance move.